I'm okay. I just smoked another to the face, yeah. She wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you here up in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Coming with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodSports.com. I'm your boy, Easy Joe, my guy, Spin More Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris. JB Smooth, looking a little pale today. You all right, bud?
Feeling good.
I'm
happy to be back in here.
Nicholas Koloff joining the show on the ones and twos. Russell Brown will be joining the show.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice to talk to him. I kind of feel bad. I felt like we only use him for draft talk.
For sure.
But now these guys are actually drafted.
Prospect talk.
Yeah.
Player talk. Rookie talk.
That's what I'm saying.
Russell Brown does his homework. Like, that is the one thing about Russell Brown is he does his homework.
Yes.
And he's a cute guy.
What? Hold on.
What? Oh, sorry. He's not on yet?
Nick, was your mic on just now?
Yeah, Mike. Chill. We're not in Dallas.
Nick, did you catch the thumbnail today?
Yeah, I did. I was looking like a snack.
You're absolutely right, bud. That's why you get flown out. You got it all.
Bro, shout out to Lance. Shout out to Lance.
Why?
He just Venmoed me $16.
Are you serious?
Real one.
Wow.
It's a real one right there.
Dude, I'm yellow.
I got my fantasy draft tonight,
I
so
look sickly.
as soon as this show ends,
Am I dying?
I'm out of here.
Your fantasy draft?
As soon as the show ends, in-person fantasy draft at 7:30.
Where at?
My boy Stash's house. Well, you know Stash.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stash's house.
I'm going there.
Come through, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pulling up. Is there food?
Probably. We'll probably get pizza or something.
I'm there for the drinks. Ladies and the drinks. Anywho, get my situation situated. I'm going to send you a screenshot.
Oh, my God.
What?
Alex Merrill said I'd blow that back out. I think he's talking about...
Oh. My Lord. Can we relax,
I think he's talking about the
guys?
thumbnail. Hey, it's my Friday. It's a Thursday. We're feeling good.
What's that got to do with Nick getting his back blown out?
We're off the rails already on a Thursday.
It's
Let's
like,
just
it's
go
cool.
for
It's
it.
my Friday.
Yeah, it's my Friday. I don't have to feel any of the repercussions.
Hit the like button if you guys haven't already. 5-star review on all podcast platforms. What is this? What does Ben Wallace not do? What did I miss here?
Throw it up, Chris.
Throw it up.
This is something special. This is really something special.
This is something sweet.
Ben Wallace has officially resigned as a UK Defense Secretary. So that man didn't just get 4 Defensive Player of the Years, but he was a Secretary of Defense for the United Kingdom.
That's how great he was at defense.
That's how great he was. UK hit him up. They said, "Oi, mate, why don't you come over here and protect us like you protect the rim?" And he officially resigned. So shout out to Big Ben.
When I talk about when I say, you said Big Ben just now, right?
Yes, sir.
When you say that, when you hear that, do you think Ben Wallace or do you think Ben Roethlisberger?
Depends on context, but we're a Detroit sports talk show, so
Yeah.
Ben Wallace.
I was gonna say earlier.
But they were talking about quarterbacks and football and
This morning, you're talking about?
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, earlier this morning, I love Flannel Sam, by the way. I am probably one of the few people that defend him. He's come out of a lot of smoke because he said a lot of crazy things.
I defend Ben Wallace. I have a shirt with
No,
Ben.
not Ben Wallace. Flannel Sam.
I defend Flannel Sam. That's my guy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you literally have a show where you go up against him. I don't know if you
we did
defend
it
him too
today,
well.
and I put him to the cleaners. I had
you?
people texting me, "I can't watch Rivals anymore. I might have to flip sides. You were great." I swear to God, I got the screenshot to prove it. Shout out Chuck Brewer.
Send it to Chris. He switches sides to a Sparty fan?
That's what he said.
Chuck Brewer, do you not realize the type of team that Michigan has this? Like this, I told you before that show started. I was like, Spinny, I don't know if this is a good idea. Like,
It's
this
a
is like
great
the
idea.
wrong year to
idea.
do this. You're gonna get.
I'm gonna get my
got.
my comeuppance, but when Michigan stumbles eventually, like they always do, I'll be able to laugh at that. And then when basketball season comes around, dude, Ritz put these tapes on here terribly. But
With his tape?
Yeah, he said go in between these tapes and you'll be good. No.
What if we're wider than the tape he's got down there?
That's a good point. Yeah,
a little
we need
discrepancy
an
here.
extra heavyweight tape on the side. But when
Get some red
basketball
tape
season
for us.
comes around, then Spenny times shine.
I guess so. You're gonna get abused.
MSU might not win 6 games. Paul Thomas, I appreciate you. You're a great factor to the show, all shows. Shut up. I got him at 7.
Yeah.
Hopefully 8. I got him at 8. Bottom line is 7, possibly 9. I don't think they're going to be as bad as other people think.
7. Going 7. They brought back the guys that I felt like were making things bad.
Chris, you got that video I sent in Slack, the Michigan video?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is why I hate Michigan.
God.
All right,
This is
if you
slam
need a
dunk.
reason, here's your reason.
This is horrendous.
Yeah, this is wild.
This is just,
Oh, that's like, cut down a little.
this is just all bad. What is this? What are we doing here? Why are we doing this? This is, come on now. This is bad. Yeah,
Oh, that's terrible.
that's hard to watch.
Terrible.
Chris wouldn't even let it finish.
I don't blame him.
It was 2 minutes.
We got another Spartan dog.
I would put money on the fact or idea that not a single person in that room watches football.
Dude, that's what it is. That's like I have a lot of family that graduated from Michigan, and Michigan's real fan base, Michigan's real alumni, they're all nerds. Ian, Dylan, Olivia, Andrew, Angela, Cameron. You guys are nerds.
That was just gross. It was like grotesque. Like
Yeah, it's bad.
that is cringy. Like it was like it hurt my ears for sure because it was a little bit loud, but also just like what the
It's physical cringe.
what do we
Yeah.
watch?
Physical cringe. But check out Rivals. We did it live today. So make sure you guys check it out.
It was not even a Michigan thing. That's just like
Yeah.
who does that?
But you
Hey
can-
guys, have big parties, have a big little sing along here.
Yeah,
Like-
that's Michigan people. That's the actual student body. But you should check out Rivals because we did it live today, and we're going to be doing it live every Thursday. Me and Flannel Sam going back and forth, going at it. Woodward Rivals is the best show coming to Woodward Sports Network live every Thursday from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Woodward Rivals. Make sure you guys check it out.
I want it.
All right, Brandon Bosley. My Shaq impression is not that bad. So it was worse than Denise's Shaq impression.
Let's hear your Shaq impression.
No, I'm good. I think I saw Flannel Sam in that video though.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Doing his fucking. his little
The Flannel Sam dance moves are undefeated. If you guys don't know, catch Flannel Sam in the wild, and he is an expert dancer.
Oh my goodness. Amon St. Brown will be featured in a Football Life. They're doing like
Yeah.
in season with current players. I think that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
You been nervous about the hype, or you think he's just every
The
every bit
Amon
worth
St.
it?
Brown hype?
Yeah,
No,
I'm not either.
he is him.
I ask because I feel like it happens. I guess I can't say often. Usually when they do these things, they are for players that are doing things.
Yeah.
Amon St. Brown could beat Justin Jefferson's record, the most receptions in the first 3 years in the NFL.
He's going
Amon
to.
St. Brown's on pace. Yeah, isn't that wild?
He's
think
going
about?
to. Take it to the bank.
That is crazy.
He is him. And guess what? He didn't play, the first 6 games of his rookie season?
Yeah, like 6 or 7
He
games.
wasn't really involved in the first 6 or 7 games of his rookie season. The guy is him.
That actually
He is a reception machine.
I didn't even consider that actually. That's
Imagine
true.
if he was playing week 1, he would have beat it already in 2 years.
hey, he's him. I'm here for it. I don't think I took any screenshots, but I know it was an IG link that we sent Chris. Don't feel bad if you didn't, because I know you're aware of it. But Eli Apple's BM,
I didn't see this.
baby mama, for those who don't
Yeah,
know,
that was wild.
basically put a hit out on Eli Apple. She's also
No way.
the BM of 2 other NFL players. Chris, I know you like freshly seen this last night. Give us a lowdown.
Yeah, so she had posted, I believe it was on Twitter. She started tweeting out that anybody that hits her baby daddy, she will pay the fine. She will pay the fine that the NFL hits them for. Like if they get hit with a dirty hit.
Oh,
So she's
okay.
like, yeah, and she said go for the knees and below.
Like, bro. Yeah.
Eli Apple already has a bad reputation in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's got people gunning for his knees anyways.
It's kind of just.
Brad, catch me on a 10-day.
Can she go
That's what
to
I'm saying.
jail for that? Or is it like
I mean, yeah.
Definitely.
right?
That's like conspiracy to commit assault. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, like, okay, you're not getting money from him, but then if that happens to him, then he's liable to sue you. And you're already getting NFL money from 2 other NFL baby daddies.
Who are her other baby daddies? Do you
Did
know?
you show in that post? You know, Chris?
No,
I'll try to
I
find it in
didn't see.
Slack.
I didn't see in that post anything about the other ones. But
That's
that
wild.
was the wild part. Was go for the knees and below.
See, I love the Bounty Gate. Bounty Gate was my favorite scandal in the history of the NFL. Like, it's terrible, yeah, but it's badass. Like, they were putting contracts on people's heads.
Yeah.
What did he say? 12 grand for whoever takes out 4. Like, when they were trying to get Favre out of the game.
Yeah.
Bro, it's crazy, too. Like, I remember watching that game, like, I'm like, damn.
They were going
Brett
after
Favre
him.
is getting fracked off.
Yeah.
And that's me trying not to say the F word. He was getting
David
dropped.
Witt says solicitation of violence. So he's probably a better lawyer than Brandon Katz already.
Already.
But yeah, that is Bounty Gate outside of the NFL.
I'm trying to find the
That
damn
is
thing.
wild.
Baby mama
To
gate.
find her other, like, yeah, to find her other baby daddies.
Baby Mama Gate.
Baby mama gate.
Baby Bounty Gate.
You got baby gates, you got baby mama gates, too.
That is pretty crazy.
What's this Adam Rank back at it again? I'm not even sure if I want to hear
Throw
this
it up,
thing.
Chris. This is tough to watch. Easy. You're gonna want to see this.
That's a video.
Adam Rank. No, it's a picture. It's a
Okay.
graphic. Adam Rank did his NFC North rankings
Oh yeah, this was
on how he thinks the NFC North is going to shake out.
Oh, I mean, come on.
this was terrible.
Surprise, surprise. He's got the Bears in first place at 12-5.
Not surprised.
12-5
I would,
for the Chicago Bears.
I would love to, like, overreact to this, but I'm just so used to it at this point.
Lions at 9-8. And then the Packers and the Vikings at 8-9. So that basically means what? The Bears sweep the division? Like, it has to factor in at that point?
I guess. I mean, I'm looking up his Twitter following because how is this guy like? I mean, I don't know too much about his comeuppance, but like, what the?
That's
like, how,
malfeasance.
Adam Rank, 502,000 followers. That's a lot of followers.
That's probably every person that lives in Chicago, and then
He's
nobody
also
else.
been on Twitter since 2009. I mean, that helps. I don't know, man. I just don't get how this guy has a job on the NFL website. I'm not, and I hate when people call people's jobs, and I'm not calling for his job. I'm
Sounds
just
like you are.
No, I'm not. I'm just wondering how he got his job. Like what did he do to get here?
Hot
Like
takes.
just constant trolling? Because this is not a hot take. This is not even like a feasible situation. I don't know. Nick.
Nolan Salem Beer. We're going to get into the Hawkinson talk later. Don't worry about that.
We'll do it next. What are you going to say, Nick?
9-game leap. Is that right? Did
9-game
Chicago
leap,
win
yeah.
12 or 3 games last year? Come on, Adam. No, it's not.
That's just
not
like
happening.
that's
Worst to
bad,
first, baby,
that's
every year.
Bad business. That's irresponsible.
The other thing is, like, he does it every year. Yeah. Again, like I'm not calling for his job. I'm just wondering how the hell he got it. Like how can I? If I was a weatherman, and every year, every day is a little bit different. But let's say I had like a calendar. Every year my calendar was off.
Yeah.
Completely off. And I get weather's unpredictable at times, but I was just wrong every single time.
You'd get fired.
Horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Celebratory wrong. Like just like.
And like blatantly wrong about certain areas. Like
Yeah.
you're from Michigan, and so you're like, oh, Detroit's going to be 75 today. Chicago
2nd.
it's going to be 32 and snowing. That's how blatantly wrong that is. That's how irresponsible that is. Like we did our schedule breakdowns yesterday, and we had them at 12-5,
Yeah.
and we felt gross about it.
11-6. Yeah.
No,
That's my real prediction.
no comebacks, no takebacks.
That KC one.
11-6. 11-6.
No.
Shut up, Nick. We had him at 12-5, and we felt bad about it. But to have a 3-win team at 12-5, I don't know, man. And you work at ESPN. I guess you can do whatever you want over there. 'cause
NFL. Right?
You missed the layoff.
He works at the league media. Like, the NFL.com is where he works. But listen, WoodwardSports.com. You want Detroit content. You want to hear about the Detroit Lions? That's the best YouTube channel. Go Woodward Sports. Check it out. That's what I hear about.
Check it out.
Ken says he does it on purpose for clicks. Jay Cruz in 71 says all for attention. I
Check out Woodward Sports Network on YouTube. The best sports coverage by the best personalities in Metro Detroit. Stop settling for constant Kool-Aid drinking and get that content that counts. Our experts know the inside scoop on the teams and are not afraid to share real opinions. Subscribe to Woodward Sports on YouTube today.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment sales, service, and parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more, servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipmentCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
What up, though, and welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy, Spin Mo Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, JB back on the 1s and 2s, Nicholas Koloff, learning the ropes, sees on the thumbnail as well. So if you guys like what you see, you know what I'm saying, send him your fantasy draft. Wink, wink. Hit the like button, 5-star review on our podcast platforms. Spitty, there's like 2 breaking stories right now. We'll go with the latest, actually.
Yeah.
And it's kind of original with what's on the prep. But up until, 30-40 minutes ago, the Detroit Lions had only rostered 2 running backs.
Yeah.
They had only signed Zonovan Knight to the practice squad.
Yeah.
So I was kind of curious. There's like a rumor that Kareem Hunt's waiting on 4 teams, and with the Detroit Lions kind of pending that 2 running back situation, I thought that they may have been one, but no. Officially today, they moved Craig Reynolds back to the main roster and Julian Okwara to the IR. What's your take on that?
I mean, it sucks that Julian has to go to the IR. We've seen him when he's in the game, when he's healthy, when he's making plays. He can be a difference maker for that defense. He moves inside and outside on the defensive line. But you got to be healthy, you got to be available, you got to get your stuff done. Maybe that's why a trade for him didn't go down. Maybe because he wasn't completely healthy and teams knew that. But Craig Reynolds, happy to have him back. Netflix, in spurts, he showed that he could get things done. He's a great hammer in that backfield, a good complement to what they already have in David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. And we'll see what Zonovan Knight can do if he has to even come up to the main squad this year.
Are you somewhat surprised it was Craig Reynolds over Zonovan Knight?
No, not really. We've seen Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. They like their guys. Craig Reynolds is one of their guys. They had faith in him. Obviously, we saw in Hard Knocks last year the heart-gripping story about his brother in jail, different things like that. The offensive line fighting for him, saying, you can't cut this guy. If you cut this guy, we're going to have some problems. So he's a team guy. He is a Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell guy. And when given the opportunity, he's shown he can do some things. So running back 3, you're going to get a handful of carries, a handful of snaps maybe per game, especially when you have guys in front of you that are paid and have so much capital invested to them. Like you say it all the time, their highest paid skill position player in David Montgomery and a first-round draft pick in Jahmyr Gibbs. They're obviously going to get the bulk of touches, but Craig Reynolds is a good guy to spell them when they need it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those strategic moves we spoke about when the initial roster came out. Is
Craig.
You can't put a player on IR before you make your firm 50 because he has to stay on IR for the entire season. So they wait, they cut Craig, and when the time comes, they put Julian on IR, what they wanted to do, which they want to lose for the season. So obviously, there's hopes that he comes back, and then you move up Craig Reynolds. I am a little bit surprised though. I do think that Zonovan Knight has a higher upside. That doesn't mean that Craig's not serviceable, that Craig can't do things for you. I think he definitely can, but when you look at Zonovan Knight, I think you look at options as a kick returner. I think you look at the situation in the passing game. I think he's a little bit more threat there too. Only 14 receptions for 100 yards with the New York Jets, and then 300 yards rushing with the Jets. And I get, start off kind of hot, and then it's like 4 bad games. I think he only had like 6 or 7 starts. But beyond that, I don't know. He's felt like the upside guy. But listen, the Lions got a big game coming up against Kansas City Chiefs. primetime game. You want your best. You want everyone who knows the offense.
Exactly.
And if we know anything about this team, that's one of the things Dan Campbell's big on is like knowing what the game plan is, knowing what the install is. And I think for week 1, it makes sense you're going to see a Craig Reynolds. And I don't think that necessarily rules out a Zombie Knight sighting at some point during the season. And not even necessarily due to injury, just once he gets the – I mean, this is a complicated offense.
Yes.
I know typically you see wide receivers and running backs, they hit the ground running and they're ready to go right away, but the Ben Johnson offense has been well documented as complicated. You heard it from the guys at The Athletic. You heard it from fellow defensive coordinators. I think this is what made this thing go when you look at this outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown and DeAndre Swift, and he was – in and out, but like they still produced without like a top 10 name.
Knowing your assignment, knowing your hole, knowing your gap, everything like that is very important to this offense because, like you said, Ben Johnson, his run scheme is very complex. We have multiple people saying that. We have former players, other defensive coaches saying that his blocking scheme, his run scheme is a very complex thing to pick up. So maybe Zonovan Knight has a higher upside than Craig Reynolds, but Craig Reynolds knows the system. Craig Reynolds knows the play calls. So, yeah, week 1, obviously it should be Craig Reynolds. He knows what we're doing. You just signed Zonovan Knight yesterday. So he's not going to know this offense just yet. He might have the higher upside, but Craig Reynolds knows what he's doing. He knows the players. He knows the scheme. And that is a better fit, at least to begin the season. But for the kick return thing, I think they got it with Khalil Dorsey. I can't see another reason why Khalil Dorsey was kept on the roster over a Starling Thomas other than he is going to be your kick returner.
It's good. It's a good point. I think you got to tell us about something.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys about something, and that's live streams. Live watch parties at Woodward Sports. If you're anything like us, you know there's nothing better to do on a fall weekend than lock into hours of football, and you can do it now with Woodward Sports. Saturday for Michigan and Michigan State. Sunday for the Lions. All your favorite Woodward Sports personalities. We're going to be chilling in the studio, having a good time watching football, so make sure you tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube and watch it with us.
Now, what this topic originally was is could the Detroit Lions be one of those 4 teams waiting on Kareem Hunt? Mm-hmm. With the roster move of Craig Reynolds officially making the team now?
Not a chance.
No? He's out of the cards?
He's out of the cards for sure.
Would you want to be in the cards?
Would I rather have Kareem Hunt than Craig Reynolds? Yes. But no, if they would have done that, they wouldn't have re-signed Craig Reynolds.
Yeah. I mean, again, maybe. I mean, I don't know if it necessarily counts them out as one of the 4 teams because obviously, if he would price them out of their market, what they're willing to pay, then they're like, all right, we're done. We're going with Craig now. We know Craig's serviceable. But it also doesn't necessarily mean they were. It just made me wonder, though. It was kind of weird that they waited that long to make that transaction. You know what I'm saying?
But we heard that from Pride of Detroit as soon as he was cut.
Yeah.
That this is probably going to be the situation.
For sure. But, why, like, the hesitancy? You know what I'm saying? Why not? We saw the moves made.
It takes time to get through things. It takes time to put a guy on IR, make sure that's okay, free up the roster spots so then you can sign him. A bureaucratic approach is what I'm assuming, is that they had to weigh these things out, have the time for both of the contracts to go through. But I'm not mad at it. I like Craig.
Some red tape. Craig! Jinx. Other practice squad news. David Blau.
David Blau,
back to the
man,
D.
the myth, the legend.
And
his wife.
Back, bitches!
What do you? Oh, yeah. I don't say nothing about his wife. Don't.
I'm just saying, David Blau's wife's back, dude. She's
gorgeous. Good for her. Athlete, beautiful woman. We're not going. Be respectful.
I'm being respectful. She's a gorgeous woman.
That's fair.
I'm happy to have her back in the city. What do you mean?
All right, I'm
Hey, yo!
Shout out to my guy Justin Rogers. He put out a report. I guess there's like offensive assistant on the Detroit Lions. The name escapes me at the moment, but that's part of the reason David Blau came back. And through him, David Blau has like a career in coaching. And I just want to take this moment to rub it in that he basically made Christian Gonzalez.
That is true.
What he is today.
That's what you said. Yeah, his wife.
You mocked me.
Is related
You mocked me
to Christian Gonzalez. They're cousins, or what was it?
No, it's his sister.
Yeah,
His brother-in-law.
Christian Gonzalez's sister is David Blau's wife, so he's got the fast track to coaching, I guess.
Lineage.
Man
Just
knows
saying.
talent.
I'm just saying that per reports.
Yeah.
What do you make? I have a question real quick too. I'm not going to question Brad Holmes ever, actually, so maybe not. But I said yesterday I liked Matt Corral. Did anything ever happen with him? Did he ever get picked up by anybody?
Probably
He's just
not.
out there
He's going to
floating
be in
around?
the USFL playing for the Rock or whatever.
I mean,
I believe he got picked up by the Patriots. He's on their practice squad.
Okay.
And okay.
The Patriots, technically, I think they have higher waiver claims than the Detroit Lions, because Detroit Lions.
And enough of this, DNC ENT. I appreciate you. You're a valued member of the chat. But he says Adrian Martinez greater than. we're not debating practice squad quarterbacks.
Yeah, no.
That's not what I'm going to do.
I mean, you do have 3 more minutes if you want.
Okay, so this is why David Blau is better than Adrian Martinez.
Who cares?
Don't care.
I think it's more of a guy who knows the offense. Oh, other practice squad news. Actually, this one's probably a little bit more notable because I looked at the size and the speed of this dude. Don't know his name. Former Chicago Bears and Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver. LaFontaine.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Fontaine.
I'll pull it up
Christian
right now.
Fontaine, I want to say. He played for the Chiefs, and then he was on the practice squad for the Bears and got cut. He's 6'2", 230, something like that.
I know. I feel so gross and disgusted because I allowed myself to get excited about that.
He's gonna be the sleeper. Watch out.
No, not that, but
That would be perfect.
yeah, part of me.
John Kaminsky 2.0.
I mean, that's a big boy,
That is a big boy.
a fast guy too. I mean, that's exactly what you're missing. You don't have a true X right now. Jameson Williams not part of the offense. Granted, I think Khalif Raymond could fill that role to an extent. Obviously,
You don't
Jameson's a
even
bit
like
bigger.
Khalif Raymond.
I do like Khalif. I'm just not on the wave you are with him. Listen,
That he's important to the offense, that's not too hard of a wave to jump on.
yeah, dude, big wave. You're a big wave rider. Darius Fontaine,
Darius Fontaine.
speedster. I mean, it gets down the offense, but obviously he's been floating around for a reason. Like the Chicago Bears are kind of in need of wide receivers. If he didn't make that squad,
He's a practice squad guy.
yeah.
I understand we are thirsting for football,
That's
and we
what it
have
is.
7 days until we see Lions football, but
7 days.
I don't want to debate practice squad guys. I don't want to debate people that were cut and then picked up and then cut again and then picked up again. These guys aren't going to see the field. More than likely, not even see the 53-man. We got to pump the brakes a little bit. I understand. There's football on tonight. We got real football on tonight, but
Yeah, what's that game again?
it is Utah and Florida.
I'm here.
It's
for
gonna
it.
be a good
Those are
game.
two. That's a good. Yeah, those are respectable squads. Florida's probably getting stomped out for sure.
We'll see. I don't think Cam Rising's starting for Utah, so
Why?
I don't know. I think he's injured.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's not good. Well, I got to tell you guys about Mark White.
Mark White.
When buying or selling real estate, sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement anytime for any reason with no penalty? That's exactly what Mark White and Associates offer. It's called the Minute-by-Minute Listing Agreement by Mark White and Associates. Try Mark White's Minute-to-Minute Listing Agreement today. Looking to buy or sell real estate? Call Mark White at 248-290-8242. MarkWhiteSells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Are you a diehard college football fan? Well, it's your lucky day. Join special WSN guests like Spencer Raxter, Flannel Sam, and more every Saturday. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Saturdays and tune in live from 8:30 to 10 a.m. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
At the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field, which can also be used for 7-on-7 football. K-8 that features AM and PM latchkey, smaller classroom sizes, a learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K-8 athletics. The Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment, so go and check them out right now at theacademyofwarren.net. Now, back to the heavies.
What up, though? Welcome to Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. The best spot for your source of Detroit news. I'm Easy, Spinball Rax, Young Chris, JB Smooth. Hit that like button, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. We're also joined by a fourth. The one, the only, one of the nerdiest football guys I know.
Oh, facts.
And respect. Russell Brown. What up, Russ? We got you?
So, yeah, fellas, what's going on?
What's up, man? Hey, it's we have you on for draft, and I feel bad that we don't have you on post draft to talk about these guys. So I wanted to ask you on, especially after training camp too. There's a lot of Detroit Lions hype around Brian Branch, around everybody. Jameer Gibbs, Peter Schrager had him as number 3, like breakout. Jack Campbell. I gotta ask Russ, who are you most excited for this year?
Man, it's hard to narrow it down to kind of one guy just because I'm so excited to watch Gibbs. I'm so excited to watch Branch. But at the end of the day, I think I'm most excited about Jack Campbell. And that's just through my time at training camp. And Easy, you and I, we were texting each other kind of back and forth during one of the days. We were actually there at the same time. We couldn't link up or whatever. But just watching Jack Campbell through preseason, his first game against the Giants, he looked the part. And I get it, it's preseason, but he looked the part. He's looked the part during other games. And then you just watch during camp and you watch during practice. And, you'll watch the first-team offense come off the field. The starters are kind of off to the side doing their own thing. And you see Jack Campbell basically on the field standing with the coaches, being coachable, taking notes, like mental notes, getting mental reps. And that stuff is important. And just speaking from experience, when I was a player or when I would, watch guys at college levels, the good ones did stuff like that. The great ones did that. And I'm watching, and I'm not throwing Alex Anzalone under the bus, but he's taking a knee and watching the second team defense go, and Jack Campbell's just kind of up in the middle and again taking those mental notes. And that stuff just stands out to me. And I'm just so excited to watch about him. He reminds me of a Steve Yzerman 2.0. That's the future captain of the team, a guy that is going to be here for 10 to 12 years, carries himself right, and he's football 24/7. And it screams what this team needs and wants to do with their football players.
Spinny and I have an ongoing bet real quick.
I was just about to say
Okay, go. I'll let you ask. And I apologize.
That being said, Jack Campbell, I coined him the meat missile. It's catching on. So if you want to use that, use it whenever you want. But there's been also a lot of Derek Barnes hype at camp. Obviously, we know Alex Anzalone is probably going to be a day one starter. Do you see Jack Campbell being that starter alongside Anzalone, or do you think it'll be Derek Barnes week 1 against Kansas City?
I think it's going to honestly be Jack Campbell. Yeah. I really do. I think Derek Barnes is going to definitely earn himself a spot in the rotation with Malcolm Rodriguez. I think that those packages are going to be there. There's going to be times that we see Campbell with Barnes. We're going to see Campbell with Rodriguez. We're going to see Barnes with Anzalone. They're going to have different packages because they're all versatile in their own way and they all play the game differently. But when I watch Jack Campbell, it's hard for me to say he shouldn't be on the field. His coverage ability is it's fantastic for a linebacker. There are times that players are faster and they'll run that underneath route, a crosser, and they slip away from him a little bit. But when you watch some guys that try to peel off upfield and try to break out towards the sideline, the Carolina Panthers did it on a play-action play, and James Houston missed the sack because he didn't come under control, but Jack Campbell was right there in coverage. Other linebackers would have let that tight end go, and the quarterback would have avoided the sack a completely different way. So I think just what he provides in coverage is such a plus. So I love the skill set of Jack, and again, I love the versatility that we have at linebacker. It's different than anything that we've seen in recent memory.
Russ, before we get into any more questions, I got to tell you about the newest show coming to Woodward Sports Network, and that is Broder and Booner. Have you been waiting for the perfect pair with your nightcap? Well, wait no longer. Woodward Sports is bringing you two of the best up-and-coming sports personalities in Detroit. That is Broder and Booner. They're going to be ready weekdays from 8 to 10 p.m., premiering on September 5th. So make sure you guys check out Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Russ, we obviously know Jameson Williams is suspended until the Baltimore game. Who do you see filling in for him? Who do you see being that wide receiver 2 for this offense while he is absent?
Honestly, it's a toss-up between Marvin Jones and Khalif Raymond for me. I think Josh Reynolds will have a role, but he, to me, is just more of a wide receiver 3, a wide receiver 4. I feel the same way about, like, Antoine Green. Green will kind of have, like, design plays, I think, at times. And there will be times that he tries to win vertically because he kind of has that breakaway speed. But at the end of the day, I look at Khalif Raymond, and he has been consistent the last 2 years within this offense, within this scheme, just shy of 50 receptions in back-to-back seasons. That's nothing to, like, look away from. That is consistency. He's got special teams value. He's a player that has gotten better every year that he's been in Detroit. So I think Khalif is going to be that number 2. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. And I know he's a similar build to a St. Brown. He's more of like that slot receiver, right? But like I just look at the way that they scheme things up, and he screams to me just that number 2 receiver for an offense that needs another playmaker outside of, St. Brown and Gibbs and Montgomery and Laporta.
I have some more questions about the rookie class, too. I was quite ready to run away from that one. We talked about Jack Campbell. However, from all the training camps reports, even one Jeremy Risen calling him possibly the best defensive player on the roster, Brian Branch. What are your expectations, I guess, briefly for the season or as a player, but more importantly, I guess, to get specific with it, week 1 against a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, I mean, his versatile skill set down in the box is going to be a big plus for this defense, especially if, there's any limitations with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and the injury that he suffered early in camp. It seems like he's going to be ready to go, but you never know, right? Sometimes those things linger a little bit. So I think that's going to be a big plus, but he's got that outside ability too. I think he can play as an outside corner. I think if there's a tight end like Travis Kelce, it wouldn't surprise me if it ended up being Chauncey Gardner-Johnson lined up on Kelce if he's like the extra receiver at times in formations. But at the same time, I think Brian Branch could handle that role. Now, not saying he's going to shut, Travis Kelce down by any means. Kelce always kind of gets his. But I think just the versatility that you see from him, inside, outside, in the box, over the top, it's all there. And I think just trying to get him to play downhill, be that buzz defender from time to time, and if there's any crossing patterns, any smash concepts, any high-low concepts, I think he's going to be that type of player that really breaks those plays up and makes the physical hits and sets the tone for this defense at times. So I think that's what we need to see. Can he come up and level Isaiah Pacheco, who runs like a bull in a china shop, right? Like he runs hard, he runs aggressive, but is somebody like Brian Branch good enough in the NFL right now to kind of match that aggressiveness and that intensity? And I think so, and I think that's what we got to really look at and set the expectation at. If he can do that, then I think this team is trending in the right direction defensively.
What about a rookie who made some noise early in training camp just because his sheer size and just being a mammoth of a man, but has kind of fallen in the backside when you look at guys like Brian Branch, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta have taken the spotlight? What does Broderick Martin mean to this team? What can he do for this team? Do you see him being a solidified piece, maybe even starting on that interior defensive line next to Aleem McNeil, or what can he bring to the Lions defense?
Yeah, I think he'll start. I think if Isaiah Buggs is not ready to go, I know he's banged up, so if he's not ready to go, I could see Martin starting, especially on the early down and distances, short yardage, goal line package. I think he can play any of those types of packages. But when you look at this defensive line, and I found it very interesting, right? 12 defensive linemen, 7 of them are edge rushers, 5 of them are interior defensive linemen. I think the interior defensive lineman part is interesting because you have different skill sets. You have Buggs. You have Levi Ozarike, who came back from a back injury. You've got Benito Jones. You've got Aleem McNeil, and then you obviously have Broderick Martin. So I think if there's any times where maybe one of those guys is limited on a certain skill set or a certain down or distance or a certain formation or even just against a certain team because of the skill set and the opposition, I think that they've got different packages ready to go. And I think that's going to be the case for Broderick Martin because, let's be honest, like, he's not going to be able to play every snap against Patrick Mahomes. I don't know if he's in that kind of shape yet. Mm-hmm. That was his biggest, concern coming out of college was he's got to get his weight under control. He's got to get in shape. And I think that's the thing. Patrick Mahomes extends plays. You're going to need to have that versatility up front to kind of contain him. So they're going to throw different packages. We're going to see, Broderick Martin, Ali McNeil, Josh Paschal, and John Kaminsky on the field all at the same time. And they're going to try their best to contain Patrick Mahomes. And then we're going to see Hutchinson with Houston and McNeil. And, like, there's just going to be different things. So I think Martin, it's going to be, could he get 30 tackles and a sack? Is that good enough for anybody as a third or fourth round pick? I think so. I think if he can get those numbers, maybe a couple of tackles for losses, I think it's a good season if he can do that as a rookie.
Yeah, at this point, I'm kind of cool if he's like, I mean, it's rookie year, right? But if I'm expecting to be like a rotational role, the same way Jim Schwartz used to use those big fellas alongside Isaiah Buggs, I think he'll be fine. That's why Isaiah Buggs was supposed to be last year anyway, right? But, Russ, I know you're in the car. Can we keep you for that segment? You want me to let you get going?
Yeah, you're good.
All right, man. You care if we go to a quick commercial break?
As always, do your thing, heavyweights.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Tell us about Guardian Alarms.
Let me tell you about Guardian Alarm, because Guardian Alarm offers customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and no Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And, of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800
Stay Out.
That's 1-800
Stay Out,
and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically enter for your chance to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice, courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. That's right, 2 cars, one for you, one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Let one of our talented, award-winning stylists make you look handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour.
You're a good coach, Tim. Oh, great shot.
Some of the biggest names in Michigan sports, and some, well, not so much.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, shit. Go in.
Watch episodes at woodwardsports.com.
Have you ever argued with your little brother? How about some random guy you're stuck in a room with for an hour? Flannel Sam and Spencer Raxter are at each other's throats. One Spartan alumni and one Walmart Wolverine are locked in a room with nowhere to hide. You're welcome. Whether it's go blue or go green, you can go to woodwardsports.com for all the action. Coming soon to a device near you.
Experience the true meaning of exceptional cannabis products with Dispo Dispensary. With over 12 locations, including the new location that is now open in Whitmore Lake, Dispo is never far away. Join Ermanni and Edwards in the Heavies, broadcasting live at the Whitmore Lake location, September 15th. 50 North Territory Road is the address in Whitmore Lake, Michigan. Dispo Dispensary. It's DISPOshops.com, your local cannabis plug.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platforms, leave a 5-star review. I'm Spencer Raxter. He is Speakeasy. We got Chris Platte in the TD booth and JB Smooth on the 1s and 2s. As of right now, we are joined by Russ Brown on the telephone. He is the guru when it comes to drafts. You know his reports. You know his packets, everything he does. He puts in all the work. Russ, we appreciate having you on. We talked about Brian Branch. We talked about Jack Campbell. We talked about Broderick Martin. Let's talk about Sam Laporta. What are your realistic expectations for Sam Laporta? Because we've seen him being infused into this first offense, being Jared Goff's second favorite target, even, on the field. What do you think Sam Laporta can achieve in his first year in the NFL?
Yeah, I think that's the player that we maybe kind of forget about when we talk about a player that could be a wide receiver too, essentially, right? Like, he's going to become that number 2 target. He's going to be a guy that could very well get 70 to 75 targets in this offense, and it could convert to 50 to 60 receptions, which is good enough to be, one of the 10 best tight ends in football. So I think if you kind of set the bar at, I don't know, let's say 50 to 60 receptions, 500 yards, and 4, maybe 5 touchdowns, I think that's a great rookie season for a player that, look, there was expectations that he could even go in the first round, but he's got 4.59 speed. He's got the size. He is somebody that has been a target magnet at Iowa. I think that can translate into Ben Johnson's offense, who understands how to utilize talent when they have the talent. And I know it kind of fell off a little bit with Hawkinson, but that was more so, I think, with effort, attitude, and ultimately health concerns with Hawkinson. Laporta, they get a fresh slate here with an Iowa product, as we know, and I think it's gonna go well for Laporta. I think it's gonna go well for Jared Goff as well.
Now, we talked about Sam Laporta. The other exciting offensive piece is Jahmyr Gibbs. It's kind of crazy to have that many dynamic players in one rookie class, but Jahmyr Gibbs, pretty sure just put him on his number 3 breakout candidate for the 2023 season. Schrags historically has been like on the money with those. How are you feeling about Jahmyr Gibbs in his first year with the Detroit Lions?
Look, I'm excited, man. I mean, I know 12 is a very rich pick for a player at that position, and I understand that you could have had potentially the best running back in the draft. I would say he was in Bijan Robinson, but ultimately, maybe they just didn't need that type of player. They had Montgomery, who they signed, and we know that they like to have kind of that split backfield. And I think Gibbs is just so dynamic. He's so explosive. You get the ball into his hands, and that elusiveness, I think, is going to be good enough to be a difference maker, where he's going to get 150, 160 carries, but he's going to easily get, I think, 40 to 50 receptions in his own right. It wouldn't surprise me if he even got more, just simply because of what we saw Alvin Kamara do his rookie season. And I'm excited about Gibbs, man. I mean, you watch the way he practices. I watched Swift practice for so many years, and it's not like 1A and 1B. It's completely different. I think Swift was just never really going to be that guy. I think here we got something with Gibbs, and I'm excited. I think he's going to become Goff's, potentially his best friend outside of ASB. I know I kind of hyped up Laporta, but I think Gibbs, just out of the backfield, the versatility that he has as a slot receiver, being able to run wheel routes, angle routes, check downs, all of it. He's got that kind of total package for the modern day running back.
I can't wait to see like the Detroit Lions offense head out there in 22 personnel, and then the defense is stacked up, ready to bring some big buys and then hot routes and start spreading out. You got Jahmyr Gibbs out there, wide receiver, Sam Laporta. I can't wait, man.
Yeah, Russ, before we get another question to you, I want to talk about the later draft picks, even the UDFAs that the Lions brought in. I got to tell you about the Lions pregame show, because the Woodward Sports Lion pregame show returns for another season of Lions football. Join Woodward Sports host Jeff Iafredu with weekly special guests on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Whether you're drinking the Kool-Aid or kicking it off screaming, "Same old Lions," it'll be live right before the Lions game. It starts Thursday, September 2nd at 6 p.m., so make sure you join us all season long for an action-packed pregame show. Now, Russ, the Lions had a lot of undrafted free agents contending for roster spots this year. Receivers, defensive backs, all of them. One of them that made the 53-man roster is Stephen Gilmore. What did you see out of him, either pre-draft or during the preseason, that made him stick out for Lions coaches and got him that spot on the roster?
I didn't watch him coming out of Marshall. I had heard the name, but I didn't really watch him and anything like that. But I saw him at training camp, and he was a player that, man, was he sticky. He was super fluid with his lower half. He was elusive, and he just made plays the couple days that I was there, whether it was a forced fumble, an interception, he had a couple of those, or a big pass breakup. I mean, for a rookie and a guy that comes undrafted, he kind of looks like maybe a diamond in the rough. And I don't want to get too ahead of myself and get too excited, but that's just the type of player he looks like. I mean, he'll be 24 in a couple of weeks, but he had a good preseason. He had 2 or 3 interceptions. He had 5 or 6 pass deflections. And I think he was somebody that is, if you look for depth and you look for somebody that's going to have to step up if somebody goes down, God forbid a Cam Sutton or Emmanuel Mosley's not ready to go. And while, I didn't think it was going to be a Starling Thomas, I'm glad they found this kid. So I'm excited about it. I think ultimately, you know, he's going to probably more so be like a number 3, a number 4 in this rotation, but he's got big-time potential, and I think with this coaching staff and with how they've been able to develop players, if they buy in, they can get better at the next level.
Now, we love obviously talking Detroit Lions rookies. We're all Detroit Lions fans, but with a little dose of reality. Is there anyone that was drafted to the NFC North Division that you think Lions fans should be aware of, or I'm not necessarily scared of, but keep an eye out for?
Well, I mean, I would keep an eye out on Jalen Reed. I'm not being a homer by any means.
Hell yeah.
Go
green.
Michigan State Spartans. Go white. Hopefully we cover against the Chips tomorrow. We'll see. I might have a serious amount of money on it. But
we will.
Anyways, I think Jalen Reed is going to really have a spot in the Packers offense. They've been kind of looking for that next slot receiver, that kind of number 2, number 3 guy. And Jalen Reed could be maybe a gadget guy, but he can also be a player that wins vertically up the field. And while they have Christian Watson to do that, they don't really have anybody underneath. And I think Jalen Reed's going to come in as a rookie and really take a big step forward. Because, look, as much as I want to drink the Kool-Aid and buy into what Detroit's doing, whenever we have a potential season like that we could have, the Green Bay Packers come to life. And their win total at 7.5 was plus money a week ago. And that terrifies me. I think Jordan Love might be better than anybody gives him credit for.
Me too.
And I think it's because they surrounded him with weapons, man. Jaden Reed, Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft. They have Watson, Romeo Doubs. They've got Aaron Jones. Like, they've got a team. So it's a little terrifying to see actually how much potential they have. But I think Jaden Reed's going to be a big part of that offense this year.
And obviously the Lions, we've talked about all the rookies they have on both sides of the balls that are looking to make a serious impact on this season. We did drafts for all of the NFL awards, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Who do you think is more likely to get the honors? Do you think it's more likely the Lions have an Offensive Rookie of the Year or a Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Offense.
I'm gonna say, man, that's a tough one. I'm going to say Defensive Rookie of the Year. And the reason I say it is because of players like Brian Branch and players like Jack Campbell. And maybe just because I bought his jersey last night, I don't know, but I really think Jack Campbell could come in and get 85, 95, maybe even 100 tackles, and it would not surprise me if he had 2 or 3 interceptions, throwing a handful of sacks. And if any first-round pick struggles at all, or just isn't up to par like that, Jack Campbell, again, is a first-round pick. I think people kind of forget that just because of the name and things. The guy's going to be good, and I think it's one of those where if he comes in and does that, to justify him as a Defensive Rookie of the Year.
All right, Russ, you're former coach, big film nerd. You watch all these guys coming out of college. Can the Detroit Lions win Week 1 in Arrowhead? And how can the Detroit Lions win Week 1 in Arrowhead?
Yeah, they absolutely can. I mean, they have to find ways to contain Patrick Mahomes. I mean, guys like James Houston, and James Houston showed it against Carolina. He can shoot out of a cannon, but he's got to come in under control. Guys like Julian Okwara were getting juked out of their shoes by Bryce Young. He was crossing them over. I posted film on my Twitter last night about it. Those guys have to find ways to keep Patrick Mahomes under control and in front of them and prevent him from rolling out. Now, he's still going to do it. He's going to go get hits. He always does. But they have to find ways to just, make it more consistent. And I think ultimately, offensively, they cannot afford any turnovers. You cannot give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes, especially in the second half, especially if you're up like 24-17 or 24-10 at all. You cannot give them that little opening. So I think the benefit of this team is that they can run the football. If they can do that, especially if Chris Jones does not play, I think that they got a shot to kind of control the clock, control the game, and it could be enough to kind of sneak out with a 31-28 type of win. It's going to be very close. I don't see them coming out and winning, 24-7 or anything like that. I could see, though, 31-28, something like that for Detroit. And, I'm going to bet the money line just because I believe in the team, and I'm a sucker for plus money bets. So that's what we're going to do.
Russ, appreciate you joining us as always, man. You know so much. You do so much work. It's always great to have your insight. Let the people know, where they can get more of your content throughout the season and what you got going on.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Russ NFL Draft or at X, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it is anymore, but
it's Twitter still.
You could, yeah, you can find me on there. I mean, that's pretty much the only social media I use.
X and XX.
I'm on it way too much. Yeah, xxxx.com. But yeah, no, I just tons of football stuff all the time. I appreciate you guys letting the junior heavyweight join the Woodward heavyweights.
Appreciate you, Russ.
Brother. Good talking
Always
to you,
great
man.
to have you on, brother.
Yeah, good talk to you, fellas.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.
All right, let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness, because Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. You can get a full-body workout in 30 minutes and a 30-minute circuit. All memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $10 a month, or you can upgrade to the Black Card for $24.99 and get use of all the amenities. You can join in-club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Have you ever argued with your little brother? How about some random guy you're stuck in a room with for an hour? Flannel Sam and Spencer Raxter are at each other's throats. One Spartan alumni and one Walmart Wolverine are locked in a room with nowhere to hide. You're welcome. Whether it's go blue or go green, you can go to woodwardsports.com for all the action. Coming soon to a device near you.
Big Boy Strawberry Fest has officially arrived, and we're here to show you the very best flavors of the season. Satisfy your sweet tooth with our deep-fried vanilla Oreos, strawberry hot fudge cake, and a slice of our classic strawberry pie. But that's not all. Cool off on a refreshing summer splash salad, or savor the flavors of our chicken Caesar wrap and strawberry bacon chicken wrap. And for breakfast lovers, don't miss out on our strawberry hotcakes or our mouth-watering red velvet waffle. Strawberry Fest is something for everyone. Celebrate the sweet season with us at Big Boy.
What could be better than watching celebrities like Braylon Edwards and Darren McCarty play golf? Playing golf yourself and being treated like a celebrity, that's what. Stop in any Randy Wise dealership for your chance to play golf like a celebrity. VIP transportation, free golf to one of Michigan's best tracks, and a tasty steak dinner. Compliments of Fairway Packing Company. Make the wise decision and get Randy Wise today for your chance to win. Bonjour!
Or even dare cheat.
And welcome back to the World Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button while you're watching live. And if you catch us later on the audio version on any podcast platform, just leave a little 5-star review. You know, wouldn't mind if you did. Woodwardsports.com, check all your latest news, all the latest gear, and all that good stuff like that. Speaking of latest news, Spinny, former Detroit Lion.
Your boy.
TJ Hawkins.
Your boy.
Getting paid.
Very paid. Very paid. Adam Schefter put out the tweet of how much he got paid, and it's a staggering amount of money. And this is per Adam Schefter compensation update. TJ Hawkinson is signing a 4-year, $68.5 million contract extension that resets the tight end market, sources tell ESPN. The $17.125 million annual average and $42.5 million guarantee are the highest for a tight end in NFL history. TJ Hawkinson, the highest paid tight end in the history of the NFL. Does that make sense to you?
No. Hard pass.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes?
It's the market's going to go the way the market goes. If a top 5 tight ends on the market is as a possible free agent, pending free agent, somebody was going to pay him that.
Okay.
Whether it was the Vikings or somebody else. And if go ahead, were you saying?
I was going to say, yeah, I get where you're coming from. Would you pay TJ Hawkinson that much money?
Spinny? As the Vikings fan or Lions fan?
As yourself. As easy.
As easy. The Vikings, I don't think it's a bad deal. I really don't. I don't understand, like, first and foremost, you guys know how I feel about TJ Hawkinson. I think it's easy to pin him up against Eric Ebron, but when you look at the situation, it's completely different. The quarterbacks that TJ Hawkinson worked with was not Matthew Stafford, Calvin Johnson, Golden Tate that Eric Ebron played alongside. David Blau, the practice squad guy right now, was TJ Hawkinson's quarterback for quite a bit at one point. And last year, after finally getting moved somewhere else where he's going to be utilized more, I mean, I think it's quite clear the Vikings utilized TJ more than the Lions did. They prioritized him in the offense more. Second in receiving yards last year. Second in receptions in terms of tight ends group.
Yeah.
Third in touchdowns.
Okay.
That's a top 5 tight end.
Lions tight ends had more touchdowns than T.J. Hockenson, or I think the same amount of touchdowns or more than T.J. Hockenson.
I mean, if you're including T.J. Hockenson within that, yeah, sure. 6 touchdowns. I mean, that's just as much as Amon-Ra St. Brown had, and that's our number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah.
He had over 100 targets, 86 receptions. I think it's gonna be even more this year too for him, the Vikings offense. I don't hate this. I'm not mimicking. I mean, this just makes sense.
So,
if you're willing to pay a top end wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, when he's up for a contract, you think he's getting upwards of $20 million?
Yes.
All right, so if you have a guy who catches the ball for you and blocks, not the greatest blocker, but is able to do that for you or allow you to decoy that, $17 million?
Would you rather pay T.J. Hockenson $17 million a year or Sam Laporta $1.7 million a year?
I mean, Sam Laporta $1.7 million a year.
Yeah.
But
that's why Brad Holmes is him.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely not a Brad Holmes. We have to see Sam Laporta. I mean, he's gonna be good. But T.J. Hockenson, as of now, is a top 5 tight end. Is Sam Laporta going to perform as a top 5 tight end? Well, you get to see. I think there's high expectations that he can, and he will. But I don't think this is a crazy deal. I'm not mad at this at all. 10 receptions in the playoff game they had, too. The Vikings clearly use him more than the Detroit Lions.
You said it's a good idea for the Vikings to do that.
I like it a lot.
It's a good idea for the Vikings to wrap $50+ million up between 2 players, one a wide receiver, one a tight end. Because Justin Jefferson's getting 35+.
We'll see. I'm 35+.
He's going to reset the market. He's going to be the highest paid skill position player in the history of the NFL.
You're jumping like 15 mil. What's the highest deal right now? 30 for Devontae?
I mean, if T.J. Hawk is resetting the tight end market, Justin Jefferson is resetting.
He's definitely resetting
the wide receiver market. Just the market period. Like I don't see how you can pay Hawk that and then jump at or even scoff at paying Justin Jefferson $35 million.
Yeah,
he's easily worth double of Hawk. Easily.
My whole point is, though, I don't think that it's going to be a 35 is going to be the benchmark. That's
going to be 30+.
Yeah, probably 30+. I mean, it's T.J. Hockenson, by the way, too. I think if we put up the graphic, if you have the actual numbers up there, too, I mean, if you look at him alongside the top paid tight ends, he's like $1,000 more, $100,000 more paid than the second highest guy.
And the Ronin 99 in the Woodward Sports chat says our tight end room costs about $4.3 million a year versus $17.1 for Hawk.
Is what it is.
Yeah, I would never pay T.J. Hockenson that much money. Never.
I mean, obviously it's working out for them. They had a good season last year.
You think they're going to do that this year?
I don't think they're going to have a good season this year, but I think that offense will be even more explosive this year. I know they're missing Dalvin Cook, but just T.J. Hockenson alone, you saw how he was used and coming in quarter way through the season. I think he's going to be utilized a lot more. You got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, too. Those are 2 guys you definitely have to concern about. And then you have T.J. Hockenson in those intermediate routes. I think he's going to eat this year. You got Darren Waller as your tight end, too.
Yeah.
I think T.J. Hawk could be up there, top 3, top 4 at least.
That's tough.
You got to think about how much attention that guy.
Who's going to have a better year, him or Dallas Goedert?
T.J. Hockenson, without a doubt. I mean, last year T.J. Hockenson, if I'm not mistaken, was tight end too.
Yeah, but you're basing T.J. Hawkinson's success off of what Justin Jefferson brings and the attention he brings.
But that still does not make him tight end too. I mean,
I'm just saying. Yeah. So Dallas Goedert should have equal the amount of success with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith getting just as much attention as Justin Jefferson.
I don't believe so. I don't think he's going to get the ball as much as T.J. Hockenson is. I think you saw last year Kirk Cousins obviously likes going to T.J. Hockenson when he's in a pickle. In that Giants game, again, 10 receptions out of T.J. Hockenson. That's a lot of looks. Actually, I think he averaged the second most targets and out of the tight ends next to Travis Kelce. I mean, I don't I get it. He's no longer a Detroit Lion, and I get he's with a divisional opponent now, or a divisional rival, and so it is the proper thing, if you will, to say, FTV. But I'm not going to disrespect T.J. Hockenson in the process. I don't think he got a fair shake here.
I am. I would never pay T.J. Hockenson that much money. I think it's a ridiculous amount of money to pay to a tight end like that.
What do you mean like that? I mean, he's a top 5 tight end.
More than Travis Kelce. There's no.
But that's how the market's going to go.
There's no planet in the solar system where T.J. Hockenson should be making more money than Travis Kelce.
I mean, that's how it goes with his contract.
Okay, so tight ends right now. Who would you rather have, T.J. Hockenson or Travis Kelce?
Travis Kelce.
T.J. Hockenson or George Kittle?
George Kittle.
T.J. Hockenson or Darren Waller?
Right now.
Right now.
Hockenson. Healthy Darren Waller, yeah, but he hasn't been there the past couple years.
I mean,
he's approaching 30.
That's fair. T.J. Hockenson or Mark Andrews?
And toss coin. I don't give a shit.
No, Mark Andrews easily.
Any more brain busters?
Easily Mark Andrews. So that puts him as 4.
Yeah, he's top 5.
And then you can say Dallas Goedert is in there too.
I'd take Hockenson over Dallas Goedert.
It's debatable.
I mean,
I don't think the fit for sure you need a tight end. But I think any of those other tight ends, any of the top 10 tight ends could fit in that Minnesota offense just as well as TJ Hockenson.
I think there's more guys a little bit more gritty, where Hawk's more of like a finesse route type of guy. I think that's what that offense calls for. Obviously, they believe so too. They re-signed to the highest paid tight end.
Yeah, I mean, good for Minnesota. I'm praying for it, praying on the downfall.
Yeah.
They got rid of half of their defense and gave it all to TJ Hockenson.
Bro, $17 million is nothing. And
for a tight end, it is literally the highest paid salary for a tight end.
I don't even think it's still not that much
for a tight end.
For a tight end, I think like they should. I think Jimmy G, when he was having his contract beef back in New Orleans, he was like, "Does he get a franchise?" Yeah, Jimmy Graham. Thank you, it was Jimmy G.
Yeah, but Jimmy G. You think?
Yeah. All right. Nonetheless, when he was having his gripe, whether he's a wide receiver or tight end, like where is she falling with the franchise tag? Like, if he's being utilized just as much as a wide receiver, I mean, again, Amon St. Brown is our number one wide receiver. TJ Hockenson, same amount of touchdowns as him. I think what Amon had last year, what he finished with, 1,060 something.
Yeah.
TJ Hockenson finished with like a 914. I think this year with a full season with that Kirk Cousins offense is going to be a lot higher than that too. Like, I don't understand why you can't value another pass catcher who also doubles as a blocker and or decoy in a situation.
Is he a great blocker? I don't think
he's not a great blocker. But is he better? He doubles as a blocker. He's going to block for you, right? He's
I think per capita, per player,
like
per
that
situation,
too.
Amon St. Brown's a better blocker than TJ Hockenson.
I mean, yeah,
like as a wide receiver compared to as a tight end.
Well, like per position.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Amon St. Brown's a fantastic blocker. But nonetheless, though, I don't understand why a tight end can't be valued as such if they're putting up those type of numbers. It doesn't make sense to me.
I think it's kind of like the middle linebacker debate, but on the opposite side.
I think it's no, dude. I think tight end's way more valuable than a linebacker.
So would you? You said TJ Hawkinson's top 2 tight end in the league.
Top 3, top 5.
Top 3,
top 5. We'll go top 5.
Okay, top 5. Who are the top 5 linebackers in the NFL?
Top 5 linebackers in the NFL.
Fred Warner, Roquan Smith.
Fred Warner, Roquan Smith.
Bobby Wagner.
Matt Milano, Bobby Wagner. I feel like there's somebody else I'm missing.
But I would easily take every single one of those players over TJ Hockenson on my team right now.
Because I have to put it to you this way: your guy Tremaine Edmonds getting paid $18 million a year.
Yeah, I'm not.
Would you
taking
rather pay
Tremaine
him
Edmonds.
18 or TJ Hockenson the 17?
What is Roquan Smith's making 17, right?
Yeah.
I'd rather take Roquan Smith 10 times out of 10,
again,
7 days a week.
I'm asking about your boy Tremaine Evans, the one we had on tape looking like a fool the other day.
No,
he's getting paid $18
per capita,
million.
the same amount of money that TJ Hockenson is getting paid. I'd take Roquan Smith. 10 times out of 10.
I'm talking about Tremaine Evans.
No, I wouldn't pay him that either.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't pay TJ Hockenson that.
You had a choice between 2, gun to the head.
Neither. I'm not signing either of them to that kind of money.
You don't want to say it. The answer is TJ Hockenson.
I'm not signing either of them to that kind of money.
But you know the answer is TJ.
Please.
Bullet, please.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I think TJ gets a lot of unnecessary hate. It's like I don't want to say uneducated, but it's like look at the circumstances.
Unnecessary hate. But do you think he deserves to be the highest paid tight end in the NFL?
Yeah, I think given the market, he definitely.
So do you think what's his name? Tremaine Edmonds deserves to be the highest paid linebacker in the NFL?
No.
Why?
Because he's not like you said.
Given the market, he got his
deal. The
way
you said, Amon St. Brown at the wide receiver position to TJ Hockenson the tight end position.
Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson's a way better tight end than Tremaine Edmonds is a middle linebacker.
That's fair, but given the market,
that's a given.
He got his same kind of thing.
Again, if you agree that TJ Hawkinson's a better tight end than Tremaine's a middle linebacker to this point,
I would say I'd say it's pretty similar.
That's the reason for the answer. You know what I'm saying? They're different. They're at different levels. But go ahead and tell us about whatever it is you got to tell us about.
College football pregame. Woodward Sports loves college football. Do you love college football? Well, Woodward Sports loves college football. That's why we're bringing you the Woodward Sports for the love of college football pregame show, the latest show on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Myself, Easy, Flannel Sam, and many more will be kicking it off from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Woodward Sports YouTube channel starting on September 2nd. So make sure you check it out.
Yeah, I again, like if he's giving you wide receiver production, that close to like a number 1 wide receiver here in Detroit, a guy that we have arguments here on the show, he's arguably top 10. I don't see the issue with paying him money. And now, Detroit Lions, no, he wasn't utilized that way, and I'm glad. Obviously, Brad Holmes realized that, and he didn't want to pay him that money. And I think he can actually get that production out of a complete wide or tight end room. We saw it last year. They broke a franchise record. Granted, part of that was TJ Hockenson while he was here, but nonetheless, you saw game winners from who was the guy who got the game winner against the Jets, Nick?
Brock Wright.
Mm-hmm. You saw James Mitchell. They all came in spurts. And now you had another guy like Sam Laporta. We didn't have to pay a tight end that much.
Yeah, you don't need an elite tight end because you got guys that'll fill in and do that.
Yeah.
You got guys that'll fill in and put up the same amount of production as TJ Hockenson.
Yeah.
For $4 million instead of $17 million.
Well, I mean, is that true? I mean, again, you take T.J. Hawkinson out of the equation, and you're also you're talking about more bodies. That's just a different scenario altogether. But we do have to go to break. We'll continue this conversation when we get back, but not before you tell us about SMA.
SMA, or the Sports Marketing Agency, helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. So if you or someone you know is struggling, head to thesportsma.com and get the help you deserve.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Wondering where the best Lions tailgate is? That's easy. Eastern Market. The official Detroit Lions tailgate party at Shed 5 in Eastern Market. Woodward Sports will be broadcasting live for every home game. 3-star Mission Buffet featuring Chef Aaron May, VIP parking, and even tickets if you need them. How to sign up? Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com and tailgate like a VIP. That's bullseyeeventgroup.com. Shout out. What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy. Spin more rats.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nicholas, Cole Lock. Hit the like button if you guys haven't already. Guys, let's get 100. We're at the 6 o'clock hour. We don't got 100 likes. Fudge. 5-star review on podcast platforms. Nick, what is your reaction to T.J. Hawkinson contract?
I think the Vikings had to do this. I wouldn't have paid it, but the fact that they gave up the capital of a second rounder and a third rounder for him, they would have looked really bad if they did not re-sign him.
Mm-hmm. That's a great point too. You know, once you give up that much capital, you kind of have to. I mean, I think they had him in the long-term plans when they gave that up. You know, and plus he was productive there. What up, Chris?
Yeah, they definitely had him in the long-term plans. But do you think they had in the long-term plans him resetting the market, or do you think this was a situation where he kind of had the leverage because he knew that
he definitely had the leverage?
They wanted him back.
I think anytime you have a guy, especially like a TJ Hawkinson or like anywhere along that fringe top 10, I'll even consider the top 10. You should expect that they're going to reset the market. I mean, so it's kind of like when you sell your car. And you're like, hey, you're a piece of shit. But you're like, I'm putting it up for $5,000. Yeah. But at the end, you know what I'm saying, realistically, you're going to get like 48. Like TJ Price said, yeah, I'm going to be the highest paid. They did make him the highest paid, but by $100,000. And it's not even like the actual value, I believe, was like 60-something. I don't think I put that tweet in there, but I didn't make it a graphic for you. But he has like the same way most contracts are. You got to hurt certain bonuses, certain.
He's the highest paid annual value and the highest paid guaranteed money for a tight end in the history of the NFL.
Yep. He's also the most recent guy at top 10, top 5 value to sign a contract. Like, I mean, let's not overreact to this. We know that's how this works in the NFL with free agents. Like,
I'm just glad the Lions didn't do it. Thank God Brad Holmes is smarter than that.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's not. You know, he wasn't as valuable to the Lions as he is the Vikings. It's just different situations.
He's not that valuable to anybody.
I mean, he's that valuable to the Vikings.
Yeah,
obviously.
and the Vikings are stupid.
I mean, in today's NFL, again, 17 isn't shit for like what he's going to give you on the offensive side of the ball.
Based on what the rest of the positions make. Or the rest of the players at his position make, it is shit. If he's the highest paid player at his position, it's something. You can't say it's not shit. If he is literally the highest paid player at his position,
is not shit. I'm going to continue to say
based on his position, it's not shit.
I don't care about his position.
He is the highest paid player at his position.
If the production you're going to give me is just that much of a number one wide receiver, I'm 17 is nothing. In a world where wide receivers are getting paid $20 million plus, 17 is nothing. It's really not shit. You're talking about, I mean, a defensive tackle just got re-signed, and Quinton Williams, he's getting paid what, $24 million? I have a guy that's what, the second leading receiver on my team in TJ Hockenson. I have to check the numbers for the Vikings on that one, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Especially in terms of touchdowns. You know, Jefferson didn't have many last year.
TJ Hockenson is
17-8-0.
Had less receiving yards than Michael Pittman, Juju Smith-Schuster, Brandon Ayuk, Jerry Jeudy, T. Higgins, Tyler Lockett, Chris Olave, and Chris Godwin. He's right after the first page, so I don't know how many. It's probably 20. So he's just outside the top 20 in receiving yards in the NFL.
Yeah, as a tight end. That's value. And again, too, that's why the quarter of that season played under the Detroit Lions offense, where clearly it wasn't utilized as much or valued as much. With a full season of that, those numbers are going to be. I mean, we're talking fantasy. If you want to send your team to Nick, that's a guy that I'm taking. Especially if I end up with Kirk Cousins, I'm definitely looking at T.J. Hockenson in the late rounds.
I hope you don't end up with Kirk Cousins.
I hope I don't end up with Kirk Cousins either.
I dumped him.
Oh, yeah, he traded him.
Spencer clearly just hates TJ, says Gordon LeChance. No, I don't hate TJ.
He hates him.
I don't hate TJ, but I'm not paying him as the highest paid tight end in the NFL history. If you want to do that, go ahead. I'm good with Sam Laporta for a tenth of what you paid TJ Hockenson.
Yeah, I mean, it's different circumstances. As Detroit Lion, no, he wasn't worth that at all. As the Minnesota Vikings, yeah, it's worth it. 17 is not.
You don't think they'd rather have Sam Laporta at $1.7 million?
We don't know what Sam Laporta is.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, as of now, TJ's
what he
top
projects
5.
to be. I mean, we don't know what Addison is, but they liked him.
Who?
And they brought him in. Addison.
Yeah. First round pick.
Sam Laporta, second round pick.
Yeah. So that means
same kind of thing.
Well, I mean, there's more value in Jordan Addison.
Barely.
Blitnikoff Award winner. I mean.
You don't think Sam? You already said that.
What?
When we talked about Sam Laporta, what he's going to do, he's going to have a better rookie season than T.J. Hockenson did.
Yeah, Hockenson's rookie season wasn't like anything crazy.
Yeah, no, it was not great at all.
Yeah, that wasn't like a stretch of things.
And
to say.
he only played 7 games.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not.
He's only had a full season once in his career.
That's the one concern I guess I'd have in that contract is like how often TJ's been hurt in the past. Although he stayed pretty healthy actually last year, all of last year. Obviously outside of heading into camp a little banged up or heading into season last year. But
and the Ronin 99 says or Luke Musgrave. I would have taken any of the top 4 tight ends in the draft out instead of paying T.J. Hockenson $17 million a year.
That's fine. People get paid to make those decisions, and obviously they decide to pay them.
Yeah, that's why Brand Holmes is a good GM.
I mean, you know, there are tight ends taken. We talked about it, you know, during the draft season is like when people want to sneak a little tight end. These national outlets want to sneak a tight end in there for the first round of Detroit Lions. We're going crazy, and then I went and looked at the first round tight end of every single draft class, and they're all ass.
Like T.J. Hockenson.
Like if not like average. Like it wasn't like I don't know. I can't like sit here and say like, hey, this guy's fucking can be better than T.J. Hockenson for sure. That's kind of like that's wild, especially when you know the history.
I mean, T.J. Hockenson was a first round tight end, first one off the board.
That's fine. And guess what? He's a top 5 tight end in the game right now.
Yeah, borderline. We'll see how long that lasts.
It's not even borderline. He is.
I just need you to trust me. That's all.
We'll see how long that lasts. But let me tell you guys about Woodward Sports Insiders. Woodward Sports Lions reporters Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit legend Terry Foster are sitting on the corner of Woodward and Main Street, bringing you the latest inside information on the Detroit Lions. Episodes will be coming to you 2 times a week all season long on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel. On Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m. and Tuesdays from 7 to 8 a.m. premieres Tuesday, September 5th. You won't want to miss out this great Detroit Lions coverage.
I want to move the conversation a little bit, Detroit Lions talk, because y'all going crazy. I don't know if it's all Detroit Lions fans making these bets or the public's just as in on the Detroit Lions. Do we have the graphic for this one, Chris, from a couple days ago? I put old graphic in Slack on it. It's at the 556 topic. The Lions are going crazy. Kool-Aid is in full flow.
Oh, the bets? Yeah.
Throw this thing up. Read this one to us, Benny.
These are crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah, these Lions bets are a little out of pocket because per BetMGM, the Lions are the #1 Super Bowl liability. So if the Lions win the Super Bowl, MGM loses the most amount of money. Most bets, money, and liability to win the NFC. So if the Lions win the NFC, BetMGM loses the most amount of money. Most tickets and money to win the North, obviously. Hutchinson, the most tickets for Defensive Player of the Year.
That is crazy.
That is wild. Dan Campbell, the most tickets, money, and liability for Coach of the Year. So if he wins Coach of the Year, which he's got a pretty damn good chance of doing, BetMGM loses the most amount of money, and Jahmyr Gibbs has the most tickets for Rookie of the Year. Lions fans are out there spending checks.
Y'all crazy. You guys are crazy.
How many of those do you think are going to happen?
Can you throw it up there real quick? I just want to look at it.
I say at least 2, maybe 3.
The number one Super Bowl liability is wild.
I say NFC North, obviously. Dan Campbell, Coach of the Year, a very strong possibility.
Yeah.
And then possibly
Jahmyr Gibbs,
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, ranking them, I would do NFC North. 2, Dan Campbell. 3, Jahmyr Gibbs. All day. Those ones I'm not mad at. The JB bets, though, the Win NFC. I mean, I actually, Nick, you're going to be part of the bet show, aren't you?
I am not as of now, but
I
will be on some of the live streams, no doubt.
I know you're a frequent bettor. What are you thinking?
I love the Coach of the Year one, and we did our predictions yesterday. We all landed at 12-5, and if that wins us the division, there's a really good possibility that Dan Campbell wins that Coach of the Year.
I got you on the same exact thing. Detroit supremacy. Easy doesn't understand market value. He'd rather pay a top 5, $17 million, setting the market, than pay a top 10 quarterback. Yeah, you're goddamn right. Every single day of the week. You are the one that doesn't understand market value. A top 5 guy hits the market and he resets the market. That's how things go, Bubba. By the way, you're talking about taking like a salary cap. If I'm taking a guy who's barely top 10, I'm talking about 10 or 9. In almost every single rankings you see across every NFL outlet, or anyone who has a brain and 2 good eyes. You're not paying him the highest paid salary or top 5 salary. That's not what you do. I don't. It's Detroit supremacy. I know he's a troll. I don't know why I let that trigger me.
Yeah, you did.
Come on,
you fall for that too easily.
He got me. That was just a wild thing to say. Wild thing to say. I didn't have the time to type it out. That's why I had to get out there.
What did we get for Hockenson? We got next year's 3rd? Or something like that.
Extra, a 3rd and a 4th, right?
It was this year's 2nd. And next year's 3rd. So we drafted.
Laporta or Branch.
Correct.
And next year's 4th.
Yeah.
Next year's 3rd.
Next year's 3rd.
So I'd easily rather have Laporta and or Branch and a 3rd round pick for Brad Holmes next year.
For sure.
Paying Hockenson $17 million.
1,000%.
And I guarantee the Vikings would too.
Again, for the value of the Detroit Lions, he is not worth a single cent of that. It made no sense to do. But for the Vikings, it's different.
But he's a top 5 tight end. Why wouldn't every team want to pay him that much money?
I mean, the Detroit Lions, was he a top 5 tight end?
Huh?
Was he a top 5 tight end with the Detroit Lions?
I don't know.
No.
Probably not,
wasn't.
no.
You top 10?
What did he do
you have an argument for
with
it?
the Lions?
Top 5? No. Top 5 tight end for the Minnesota Vikings? Yeah, without an argument. I mean, it's not even debatable. The numbers give you everything you need, and they paid him that for a reason. He's going to be the same thing next year. I don't understand what you're trying to get at.
Same amount of touchdowns.
It's like you see different
half
systems.
The catches.
What?
And 120 less yards for the Lions than he did the Vikings.
Yeah.
Same amount of touchdowns, half the catches, and 120 less yards.
Yeah. And again, that's like heading in there like quarter way through the season. This season, the full off season. I mean, like, I don't understand what you're lost on this thing. I don't understand how you're lost on this.
I would never pay T.J. Hockenson that much money.
Yeah. I mean, when a top 5 guy hits the market, he's going to reset the market.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Especially if you've already had him in your offense.
And so you wouldn't have done it for the Lions, but you would for the Vikings.
Correct.
Okay. But you pay a top 5 guy that amount of money either way.
Was he a top 5 guy of the Detroit Lions?
I mean, if he's a top 5 guy, he's a top 5 guy.
Was he a top 5 guy of the Detroit Lions?
If he's a top 5 guy, he's a top 5 guy.
Yes
I don't
no.
think he's a top 5 guy either way.
Okay, so you don't think he's top 5 for sure with the Detroit Lions?
Yeah.
Now, factually speaking, was he a top 5 guy of the Vikings?
Yeah.
Yeah, he met
kind of.
In terms of facts, he was a top 2 guy for the Minnesota Vikings. So yeah.
You think he's a top 2 tight end in the league?
I mean, statistically speaking, yes.
Okay, yes or no? Do you think he's a top 2 tight end?
Statistically speaking, yes.
I'm not talking about statistics. I'm talking about what he is
the second best tight end in the league.
What he is as a player.
With the Minnesota Vikings, he finished the second best tight end in the NFL.
So you think he is the second best tight end in the NFL?
I think he's a top 5 guy, Spinny. I've told you that. Pound for pound, top 5 guy. Yes.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I'm not going to be mad at it.
I don't.
After the top 3 tight ends, it really falls off.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but
who are your bottom 5 tight ends? Like top 10. Who are the bottom 5?
I mean, I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I couldn't really
it's a very small talent pool for tight end. There's really 3, maybe 4 real good ones, and then the rest of them fall off.
But again, the value is that of a number 1, number 2 wide receiver, and in a short span of time, getting in the offense halfway through not having a fall off season with it, I mean that things are looking up.
I would rather pay a number 1 wide receiver than T.J. Hawkinson, or a number 2 wide receiver than T.J. Hawkinson.
He's definitely acting like Chico G. Where do you think he gets?
How much do you think Devontae Smith is going to get for his contract?
I'll tell you what, you get a whole lot of steak if you visit Fairway Packing Company. For over 6 years, Fairway Packing Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit Steak Shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks, or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then, she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Now, how would you like a $100,000 cash trip to Vegas? Take your closest friends, live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. You can purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win. Register at drinksyntron.com/Vegas and buy Syntron at your local Meijer store. Syntron, the healthier energy drink with great taste for the people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best versions of themselves. Go to drinksyntron.com/Vegas for more information.
What up, though? Welcome back to the World Heavyweights live on sports.com. I'm the Boys, joined my guys from Rax, Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff on the 1s and 2s. We want to put Nick to the test. So at some point, Spinny, myself, or Chris gonna put the phone number in if you guys want to call in. You want to talk to J. Hawkinson, or if you want to talk about the NFC South prediction. Yesterday, we did the AFC North. I took the Ravens. Nick, you took the Ravens. Spinny took the Bengals. Who'd you take, Chris?
I took the Ravens as well.
Took the Ravens as well. Today, polar opposite. From the AFC North to the NFC South. Spinny, who you got?
Oh, man, this is a tough one. I mean, I'm going to go with the Saints. They have the best quarterback. They have the best defense. And Kamara is still a weapon. Chris Olave, I think, is going to have a breakout year. We know they've got a hammer on the goal line with Jamal Williams. I like the weapons the Falcons have and their offensive line. But I think the Saints win this division.
Who finishes second, third, and fourth?
Falcons, Panthers, Bucks.
So you really think the Falcons going to be in contention for the division?
Yeah. I don't think it's a tough division to be in contention for.
I mean, I don't think they're a good team.
Do you think who do you have second then?
The second is definitely not the Atlanta Falcons.
Honestly,
I'd rather take honestly.
Why?
Listen, I like Desmond Ridder. I had high hopes for Desmond Ridder. I have respect for Desmond Ridder. He's a father. That's like it's something I relate to. Listen, he is.
Me too.
When I saw him come out of that draft, I was like, damn,
so is Chris.
This guy's got something to like play for. You know what I'm saying? He just had his baby girl. I know when I had my son, I had a new view on life. I was going a lot harder.
That's true. My cat did the same for me.
But when he hit the field, I don't know if it was obviously the NFL league is a little bit faster paced. They say you make the jump to the pros. I don't think he obviously has like the.
I mean, I don't think he was
the talent you'd wish to have in a quarterback. He didn't impress me at all whatsoever. I know that Arthur Smith he gets all this, which he may do. He may pan out being the same thing because he has tons of weapons to work with. But Arthur Smith gets like, I don't want to say offensive genius, but I feel like he was getting that offensive genius credit while he had Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And like at that time too, the Titans' offensive line was pretty good as well. It's pretty easy to look like a genius when you have Derrick Henry, rushing for 1,000,000 yards, and he just always held. He's just different. He was built different. I don't know that he is that. I think we'll find out this year. I just don't think the Falcons are it, man. I think if DJ Chark's healthy enough for CJ Stroud, I apologize.
I heard DJ Chark got hurt again. They were saying that in the chat on the morning show.
But I think they're talking about from when he's previously hurt again, because I know he said I can't.
I'd heard that too on a podcast as well, that he was hurt.
Yeah, I think they're still talking about the same injury.
But I think it was a setback, is what it was.
Oh, yeah, a setback on top of that.
I believe so. I don't want to, quote it, but
and if I can put it into I don't know the word, try to articulate the overhype for the Atlanta Falcons for you. We had Jeff Okudah from a rookie into third or fourth year.
Yeah,
we know what Jeff Okudah is.
A number two cornerback
at best.
Yeah,
at best.
And so AJ Terrell being a very good number one cornerback on the other side.
He goes to Atlanta. They're making graphics. They're talking about
they did
no-fly zone.
They gassed it
if
up
nothing
for sure.
speaks to Atlanta Falcons overhype, it is that. That is a spoonful of it. I'm not. Look, I could maybe see him finishing second. Yeah, I don't know.
They definitely overhyped it.
Yes.
But Okudah's a good cornerback too. Across from a great cornerback and AJ Terrell, yes.
I think you're.
So if you had a lockdown, if you had a top 5 cornerback, which AJ Terrell is in the NFL, Okudah wouldn't be a good number 2 to complement him.
No. Okudah just. I can't call him a good number 2. I think he's serviceable. Who
would you rather have as your number 2, Okudah or Jerry Jacobs?
That's a good question. I mean, if we're talking production-wise, I think Jerry's giving you just as much as Okudah in the time they've played. I think Okudah's obviously have higher prospect of because of the size and speed that he once had, but he obviously, we've seen him here, and he wasn't that.
Ooh.
What?
I didn't know they got Bud Dupree, too. Bud Dupree, Jeff Okudah, Jesse Bates, AJ Terrell, Grady Jarrett, Calais Campbell. A couple old heads on that defense, but not a bad defense by any means. So then we know the weapons they have, and with a top 5 offensive line and a fantastic running game, I wouldn't be surprised if they finish second in that division.
Yeah. I guess I can't hate on the second, but for me, it's the Saints all day.
Yeah, the Saints are going to win.
It's without question. Nicholas Koloff.
Yeah, I think the Falcons are going to be better than expected with all of that talent around the field, but no question for me, it's the Saints. You got Derek Carr. He got written off in Vegas, and then you got Michael Thomas coming back from the injury seasons, and you got Kamara coming off of suspension. So I think it's the Saints, and they're going to take the division by at least a couple games.
Tyler Chavez in the Woodward Sports chat said, old heads that can play. Campbell is an ogre. Calais Campbell is an old head that can play for sure. That man is a monster.
Chris?
Yeah. I also have the Saints winning this easily, and I have the Falcons second just because I think, again, it's not that I'm high on the Falcons. It's just that you look at the rest of the division. You got Baker Mayfield as your quarterback, despite having good weapons on both sides of the ball around him. And then the Carolina Panthers, they just revamped everything. It feels like, including their rookie quarterback now. So we're gonna see how that goes. And again, a good strong run game. A very good cornerback, so at least a solid secondary. You would hope.
Yeah.
The Panthers.
I think no. I'm talking about the Falcons.
Yeah.
So that combined with the very good run game, I think they'll have a very strong run game.
They'll probably
I think
have one of the best run games in the league.
Exactly. So I just think when you look at that, it's like in a weak division that can carry you to second. But I still think the Saints are probably 2 or maybe even 3 games ahead of the Falcons. So it's a second place, but it's not a close second place. I don't think it's coming down to the final week.
Yeah, and that's Panthers. Bryce Young could be him eventually. We'll see. I mean, he's 5'4", so we'll see if he can see over the offensive line.
They got good defense too.
They have a good defense. They've got names over there for sure. If he's got those
lifts, he can see.
Derek Brown, Brian Burns, Shaq Thompson, J.C. Horn, a lot of great players. But the offense, their offensive line, not great.
Yeah.
You look at their receiving core. Who knows how many games DJ Chark's going to play for you? Adam Thielen's 40 years old. Their next best receiver is Jonathan Mingo,
which I like.
He's as a wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
I like Hayden Hurst. I think Hayden Hurst is a good tight end. And then you hate Miles Sanders. I know you hate Miles Sanders.
I don't hate. He's overhyped every year.
And he's going to a team that he needs to be the lead back with not a great offensive line.
Yeah.
And Chuba Hubbard behind him.
I like Chuba Hubbard. I think he just got hurt, though, too.
No, Miles Sanders is questionable. Chuba Hubbard doesn't have any injuries.
No injuries? No. Who else in that backfield?
Raheem Blackshear.
Love
GOAT,
me some
the
Blackshear.
GOAT. But before we get into it anymore, let me tell you guys about Woodward Bets, because Booner is back and like a phoenix from the ashes. So is Woodward Bets, live Saturdays and Sundays starting on September 2nd, Saturdays at 11 a.m. and Sundays at 11:30. Booner will get you right with all the best picks, spreads, over-unders, futures, all the good stuff. Make sure you tune in to Woodward Bets with Booner.
I want it.
I mean, when it comes to like the quarterback position, who are actually...
That's...
What?
You're going to make me pick between Desmond Ridder and Bryce Young?
Well, no, I was going to say Desmond Ridder and Baker Mayfield.
Oh, the Bucks are last.
Yeah.
Bucks are last for sure.
But like, who? I mean...
The Bucks have the best team in the division.
Who do you think's...
Outside of quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if that's what the... if I'm being honest, I hate to admit this in the midst of, like, saying the Falcons aren't going to be good, but, like, their offensive weapons are sexy.
Yeah,
like,
and they have a top 5 offensive line in there.
If Kyle Pitts is going to be, I mean, at some point show up as a top 10 tight end,
If
and that's why I
Desmond
think about
Ridder
these
can
first
do
round tight ends.
anything.
We can hype them up all you want, but like, they rarely ever end up being what they're supposed to be. But what are you gonna say, Chris?
If you're the Bucks, like I just keep thinking back. I know this is revisionist history, but why on earth did you not get involved with any of these big quarterbacks, particularly Lamar Jackson being available? Like,
I don't know.
I don't understand when you have such a complete team around him. Like, you know, why not just
They have
go for
such a good team.
There's no point in tanking. They're too talented to tank. They're not in Arizona's situation where you can just do a fire sale because you don't have that much.
They can't pay a quarterback that much money. They don't have enough money to pay Lamar Jackson what he wants. So
Bucks.
Yeah, you look at dude, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Tristan Wirfs, defenses wise, Kalaja Cansey, Vita Vea, Devin White, Levante David, Shaq Barrett, Antoine Winfield, Jamal Dean, like. But they've got dudes over there in Tampa.
I also am saying too, like I referenced Lamar Jackson. You're right. The money probably
Rashad
wouldn't have
White
worked
too, and Chase Edmonds.
But you could have traded up for a draft pick for a rookie. Like you could have traded up for one of these guys. Dude. You know, I just feel like
I was confused with that too.
If Baker Mayfield is Brown's Baker Mayfield, Tampa could win the division.
I mean, part of it too is like the system. I think under.
He won't be, but he could.
Damn it! What's their coach's name? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Help me out.
Bruce Arians?
I can picture him. No, Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles. Like, I like Todd Bowles as a defensive coordinator. He's a great defensive coordinator. As a head coach,
No,
I mean,
not so much.
In his second stint now, he's kind of proven to he's not in that upper tiers. I don't expect Baker Mayfield to make a renaissance under Todd Bowles' offense.
That is very
all
fair.
due respect.
Uncle Neil Soft Feet says because the Bucs still think they're good. They are good.
They do still think they're good, yeah.
Except for Baker Mayfield. Like, if they had any other quarterback in the division, if Bryce Young went there, they're easy winner of the division.
Yeah, for sure.
I won't
Without
say
a
the
doubt.
same for Desmond Ridder, but
I agree that like tanking doesn't exist in the NFL, but like if there were a prediction of a tank job, it'd be the Bucs not addressing the quarterback position this year.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple good quarterbacks coming out next year. They're definitely getting one of them.
they're definitely and they're going to be looking good at draft night. And if you want to look good, all you got to do is go to Lady Jane's, because you can come into Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Winners, losers, pushes and draws, over-unders, prop bets, futures and spreads. Are you sick and tired of your picks being losers? Do you want to learn how to bet like a champion? Well, Woodward Sports searched the globe for the most dangerous man with a bet slip in his hand and gave him a show. Coming soon to Woodward Sports. Tune in every weekend as we introduce the greatest gambler to ever walk the earth.
Hi, I'm Booner, and I don't lose.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Downtown's newest sports bar has 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and more importantly, a full bar and restaurant. The 5-iron golf leagues are back, debuting September 11th. Compete nationwide for a chance to win the road trip to for a trip to the Dominican Republic. Bring a foursome or sign up as an individual to be placed on a team at 5irongolf.com. Use Woodward 10 for 30% off the league. That's 5irongolf.com. What up, though? Welcome back to World Heavyweights Live, WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy. That's been more Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff, the 1s and 2s. Hit that like button if you haven't already. 5-star review on all podcast platforms. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Share the stream. WoodwardSports.com. You know we got what you need. Always and forever. Now, I've been on polar opposite of the fanboys all day today, it feels like. I almost hate to do this next topic. I might even just skip over and save it for tomorrow. I don't know. What do you suggest, Chris? What do you think?
No, do this topic. I want to see how it's changed.
The Jared Goff situation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What this stems from? Crazy guy Anson. Old man Anson.
Oh, God.
Hits me up in my DMs yesterday and goes, how do you feel about that Goff extension now? Anson's a big, yeah, exactly, Smitty. My reaction. What do you mean, brother?
It's still the same.
What do you mean? And if anything, if I were to like use information publicly available to everybody, it'd point to not likely. Not likely, but I mean the odds of it happening would probably have gone down
lower. Yeah.
Given the fact that a former first-round pick was just traded recently in Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm.
The Lions, rumored to be one of the teams, calling for him. Roll your eyes all you want, Spinny.
So that means something, but them calling for Mike Evans and other players doesn't. That's just them making calls. Because that's what you said about them being in talks. You're like, oh, it's just them making calls. But them calling for Trey Lance means so much. It means they need him.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just them making calls. It's the same thing.
You're calling for a quarterback when you have another guy up on an extension the following year? Yeah, that means something. You're talking about wide receivers where multiple of them like just line up at any time? That's different. We calling for a quarterback when you have a guy on your team that you're having somewhat success with, and you're calling for other quarterbacks. His contract's coming up.
You don't think them calling for Mike Evans in the middle of a NFC North hunt, in the middle of a team that a lot of people think could win the NFC?
What's the most important position in all sports?
Quarterback. NFL quarterback.
Do the Detroit Lions have one right now?
Yes.
And is he coming up on a contract situation next year? Okay, so them calling a quarterback is different than calling on Mike Evans.
What is the most needed position on the Detroit Lions offense right now?
Probably wide receiver.
Probably wide receiver. And are they in the hunt
to
be the best?
I just don't understand in your head how this is equivalent to calling for a wide receiver versus calling for a quarterback.
Because you're calling for a player either way just to see what they're worth.
Well, no. One's a quarterback. One's going to run your entire offense. One has like hopes to be a starter at some point.
Mike Evans is a starter.
One is a former first-round pick. Yeah, a wide receiver.
That could help push you over the top.
They can line up with another
year.
wide receiver. When you're calling for a quarterback, and you have your quarterback on a contract situation the following year, those are two different scenarios.
You're calling for a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL that could push you over the hump.
That doesn't mean anything. That's a different scenario than calling
for a third-string quarterback is more important?
Spinney, he projects to be arguably a starter at some point.
I forget. You just love Trey Lance.
It's not that I just love Trey Lance. There's a difference between calling for a quarterback and calling for a wide receiver.
He projects to be a starter. Where is he on the depth chart? Where would you put him on the depth chart for the Cowboys?
I don't know. I have no clue what that situation is right now. But Trey Lance was a former first-round pick. Trey Lance, the guy that a lot of people will agree coming out of the draft, was a first-round pick for a reason. Trey Lance is a guy that a lot of coaches, the same way they do about Baker Mayfield or other players at the time, Carson Wentz, he didn't work out here, but I can mold him. I can help him. Every coach has that confidence in himself.
Carson Wentz worked out where he was drafted. He was an MVP candidate.
And then he gets kicked in the can following,
because he was injured.
Another reclamation project. People think they
and
can fix
he didn't
him
do anything
That's
really
how every
anywhere
single
else.
head coach thinks they can do. That's why you see these quarterbacks stick around for a while before they're finally just like kaputs, giving up with.
Well, most of them show something at some point, at some time in the NFL.
No, I mean, not even first-round picks get the pass. I'm talking about first-round pick quarterbacks. They still have the tools that coaches see and think they can mold something with. That's not the equivalent of calling for a wide receiver. I don't.
You're saying a wide receiver like it's the third-string wide receiver. Mike Evans is a top 10 receiver in the NFL.
That doesn't change the situation. Calling for a quarterback is still different.
I think it's pretty much the same. You're calling for a guy to see what he's worth.
How is it any different?
Exactly. It's not any different.
One is calling to see if they move him. One guy's on a move. One, you have a quarterback. There's multiple wide receivers.
So that's even a bigger
one
point.
quarterback.
Nobody said Mike Evans is getting moved. They called to say, hey, what can we get for Mike Evans? Trey Lance was being shot.
That's what happened.
He asked for the trade.
That's what happened. You pick up the phone, call on like anybody, anytime. But when a guy's actually going to be moved, and you have a quarterback who's on a contract situation the following year, that's a different scenario than a wide receiver. A quarterback is more valuable than a wide receiver.
You're just saying it so lightly. You're saying a wide receiver. Mike Evans is.
I don't care if it was freaking Justin Jefferson, a quarterback, and you have a quarterback in a contract situation the next following year. It's a different scenario every time.
Mike Evans is infinitely better of a wide receiver than Trey Lance is a quarterback. He is infinitely more impactful of a player than Trey Lance is in the NFL.
I don't understand where you're going with this.
I'm saying it's the same thing. They called to see what the player went for.
So Mike Evans plays quarterback?
No.
Is Mike Evans a liability to replace Jared Goff?
Who's being Neil now?
You are being Neil. A wide receiver is totally different. You're complimenting your offense. A quarterback.
He would be the focal point of your offense.
You're complimenting your offense. You're adding the offense. Whatever. Cool. However you want to look at it. A quarterback runs your offense. A quarterback is the guy. A quarterbacks are the highest paid position in the sport. That's different. You also have a guy who has hopes or prospects to be a guy. That's why he was drafted in the first round. They're different scenarios than calling for a wide receiver to add to your offense. That's not even the same. I don't know why you're trying to make a conversation of it.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're right. It's different scenarios because you add Mike Evans to this offense right now. That's an all-in move to win right now.
This is a brain-dead conversation, brother. This is not the same. It's not the same.
So you're not calling to see what the guy's worth?
You're calling to acquire the quarterback. You're calling to see what the guy's worth.
So they weren't calling to acquire Mike Evans?
They're calling to acquire about if he's on the move. I feel like I'm talking in circles right now. Stop this.
I just don't understand.
I don't understand how you don't understand. What is the most important position in all sport?
Quarterback.
All right, that's it. That's the end.
Where does Trey Lance rank as a quarterback in the NFL?
I don't know.
60th, maybe.
60th, Jesus.
He's a
Christ.
third string. He's a third stringer.
Oh my Lanta.
Is he not the third stringer?
This is not the topic. I don't understand why you're making a thing of this.
It's
not
talent
even a conversation
acquisition.
being had. You got to do your mid-read.
I'm saying it does nothing to me either way. Like it's the same thing.
Go ahead, do your mid-read.
Booner and Broder show. It is the newest show coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. You looking for a nightcap? Well, we got it for you. Booner and Broder will be live from 8 to 10 p.m. every day, all week, starting on September 5th. So make sure you guys check out Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
All right. Anyway. Old man Answer hits my DM. Said, well, how about that Goff extension now?
Yeah.
Given the information, the call on Trey Lance, the drafting of Hendon Hooker, giving like factual situations.
Yeah.
I think the odds of it, I'm kind of skeptical. I think it's to DM me and say, what do you think about the extension now? I think it was just a wild.
I don't think that's there's nothing that has been like, oh no, he's definitely getting the extension now. Like there's nothing that has pushed the needle that far that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I agree with you. Like them drafting Hendon Hooker is okay. Let's see what it goes for. Let's see what happens. But the Trey Lance does nothing to me.
No, I mean Trey Lance definitely means they're not completely sold on re-signing Jared Goff and whatever that situation is going to be. I think every time the questions asked to Jared Goff, he almost gets pissed off about it. Maybe because he feels he deserved that contract now because of what he's helped bring the Detroit Lions to from when he came there. But I think it definitely points to the Detroit Lions. If I've had to pick a side,
options,
giving them right. I'm not gonna, I'm not sold on an extension following the drafting of a quarterback, a top 100 pick, 68, Hendon Hooker, who also could have been a Heisman Trophy winner. People have a high upside for him, too.
He would have been the Heisman
Trophy winner.
Yeah.
And then obviously you make a call on Trey Lance that, however your personal feeling is on him, there are still hopes of him being a starter in this league. I guarantee you there are multiple coaches thinking the same
There's
damn
hopes of
thing.
me being a starter in this league. Like, I
There
don't
are
think
hopes
it's going
of
to
you being a starter in this league. They're
I don't think
definitely
it's
not the
gonna
equivalent to that of a Trey Lance. But I guess that's my update on it. And then the other thing, too, as I saw, I don't know if you had this one or not, Chris. It was in there a while, and I think I put it's a whole thing in Slack or not. But Howie Roseman, arguably one of the best GMs in the league right now, he had a quarterback that was doing pretty well in Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
You said it yourself. He did well when he was drafted, too.
Yeah, he was an MVP candidate until he got hurt.
And the trading of Carson Wentz, while he was in a little bit of a downfall, but they were still good enough to trade.
Mm-hmm.
They got Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Jalen Carter.
Yeah. That's a pretty good haul.
If you want to look at signs of situations, I mean, they had drafted Jalen Hurts the year prior, obviously. Detroit Lions drafted Hendon Hooker. Jared Goff's going to be good this year. He's going to have some value to you. If you're watching a guy like Howie Roseman, who just went to the Super Bowl, by the way, and you look at those Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, and Jalen Carter.
So next year we trade him for Mike Evans.
Tell us about, is it Big Boy?
It is Big Boy. Because burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger, our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Craving chicken? Try the Dolly's chicken sandwich, or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries to chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Save room for dessert because we have a treat for you. Indulge in our Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake, or satisfy your sweet tooth with our funnel cake fries. Make sure you guys go check out Big Boy.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Do you have football in the brain? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall is also the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports and they cover you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com or call 248-800-4177. So Woodward Heavyweights, I don't know why I was going to say be right back, but we're here right now. Welcome back to WoodwardSports.com. Hit the like button, 5-star review on our podcast platforms. Check out our merch. Check out our latest news. All that good stuff. All the best Detroit content is made here at Woodward Sports. And some good comments too in the Woodward Sports chat. I'm constantly called a hater or like a bias.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just taking factual information and correlating it. Those are all things that happened, right?
Yeah. I guess.
I
just don't I don't read into it as much as you do. I think Trey Lance is cooked.
That's fine. That's
Kyle Shanahan had him as the third quarterback in his offense. And if he doesn't trust you, Ben Johnson is great too, for sure. But
yeah, I think Kyle Shanahan's also like they're just not at the point of where they're just trying to develop anyone at this point. You know what I'm saying? They've been so close so many times. But he's past the development thing. Like they know a route and route they can go. Like obviously he's going to continue to develop as like a second-year guy in the league. But there's just so much more refinery when it comes to Trey Lance. Like I said, that you look at the tools and you drool over them. But the reality of it is, just like we said, like earlier this week.
Any games, yeah.
Geno Smith last year had more pass attempts than Trey Lance has had from his high school career into his professional career.
Yeah.
That's raw. That's raw as raw gets.
Hell yeah.
And to be honest with you, the San Francisco 49ers are ready to win now. They can't have time to do that. You have another mid-read, by the way.
We do, and it is the Lions post-game show read. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway will be hosting our Lions post-game show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into Woodward Sports' YouTube channel for his hot takes, off the press, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Maz and special guests each week directly following every Lions game, exclusively on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel.
QQWW.
He's not elite.
Goff is elite.
And I don't know if he can sling it with the best.
He can sling it with the best of them.
He's a winner.
Y'all love interceptions and mid running back, quarterbacks. Buddy.
I don't love Trey Lance. Don't lump me in on that. Trey Lance is cooked.
Since entering the league, Goff is like the guy who leads the league in interceptions. I think Josh Allen maybe catching up to him now.
Yeah.
You know, Josh Allen's catching up. But like, yeah, if you love interceptions, QQWW, that's your guy. What up?
I think it's pretty clear that Brad Holmes liked Lance coming out. So if he kicked the tires for a 6th or 7th rounder just to get him in the room to get a look at him, I don't think that says anything against Goff, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it says anything against Goff versus like the extension of Goff.
I think you're reading a little too much into the call for Trey Lance.
I don't think I read into it at all. That's a guy that was actually going to be on the move versus calling to see if you would move a guy. And it's a guy that a lot of people think that they could develop into a quarterback. Again, the tools are there. They just need a little bit of refinery. The Detroit Lions, luckily, in the situation with Jared Goff, have that ability. They could do the same with Hendon Hooker as well. But when you call on to put some extra bodies in the room, I don't think they're doing so just to make them. I mean, there's the hopes of it when you acquire any quarterback is that they could be a guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think there's like I don't think I'm reading too much into anything. That is the hopes of a Trey Lance. I mean, he just needs to be worked on. That's the belief of a lot of guys around the league.
I think the guy's cooked.
And that's fine. You're entitled to that opinion.
I know you're holding on for dear life with Trey Lance, but I'm not looking at it.
It's not even a holding on for dear life thing, though. That's the reality of the situation. Again, it happens like time and time over again with almost any first-round quarterback. Every coach thinks they can fix a guy, so they pick up the guy and they either do it or they don't. Derek Carr just signed. Derek Carr just signed a top 10 contract. Yeah,
but Derek Carr has shown a lot in the NFL as a starter.
I like Derek
astronomically
Carr.
more than Trey
like
Lance. It's not even close.
But again, one friend. Okay, I'll give you one better. Even if you want to go Jimmy G. Like another team's trash is another team's perceived gold. Everyone thinks they could fix these quarterbacks.
I don't know if anybody thinks Jimmy G is gold.
Well, I mean, he's getting paid gold. He's getting paid pretty fat over there in Las Vegas. It's just the natural order of things. I don't understand why people are like trying to pretend it's not the case. We see it time and time over and over again. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just out on Trey Lance. I think he's cooked.
Yeah.
I don't think it's ever going to happen for Trey Lance.
No. Hard pass.
But that'll do it for us today. We appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platforms, leave a 5-star review for Easy, for Chris, for Nick, for JB. I am Spencer. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. I won't be here, though. Peace.